Hello. Today we're going to take a look at finding a vertex. So we need to remember where to locate our vertex of a quadratic function depending on what's given. So we're going to do a little review of grade 10 with this lesson. Okay, so here we have a bunch of graphs. What we need to remember is that the vertex is actually the maximum or the minimum point of your parabola. So you're looking for either your highest point or your lowest point. And so if you're given a graph, to identify the vertex, simply find that highest or lowest point. So for on our first graph, the top left here, we can see our vertex is right here at 0, 0. If I just move over to my right, I can see my vertex is right here at -3, -2. If my vertex, if I'm looking down bottom left, I can see a vertex right here, and that point is at -5, -4. And if I look over to this last parabola, I can see I have a vertex here at -2, +4. The nice thing about knowing our vertex is it allows us to see what either the maximum or the minimum point is. If your parabola opens up, then you have a minimum point because it is your lowest y value for your quadratic. Same with over here, we have a parabola that opens up, so we have a minimum, and that's our minimum y value. So that would actually be at -2. Over here to the bottom left, this one opens down, which means I have a maximum. And in this case, my maximum, is a +4. Sorry about that. I made a mistake. That's at -5, +4. So that's where the maximum is. And the same over here, my maximum is at +4. Okay, so simply by looking if it opens up or opens down, we can see if it's a max or a min. Now, we won't always be given a graph, of course. Sometimes we could be given something that looks like this. So this is what we call vertex form. And the reason why it's called vertex form is because we can simply pull out the vertex from within. So to pull out the vertex from within this function, you can go to what's in brackets, and we have an x minus 3. Remember, we pull out what is from the brackets and change the sign. So that becomes a +3. And then we take the constant that's at the end, which is a 7. So my vertex is at 3, 7 for this one. My next one, I go to my brackets, take out the number that's inside my brackets, which is a 2, becomes a -2 when I pull it out. And then I look to the constant at the end, so -5. Taking a look at my next one. So this one's negative. We have the negative sign out front. It means that this parabola opens down, but it still doesn't change what we do. I'm going to take that +13 and bring it out, which becomes a -13. Take my constant, which is a 9. And last and not least, here we have a -4. When I bring it up, it becomes a +4. And my constant is a -1. So to determine where our vertex is from anything of these forms is actually quite simple. It's just a matter of pulling out our information that we need. Just a quick little note on that. So vertex form is written as y equals a bracket x minus h squared plus k. It is called vertex form because we can easily identify the vertex of the quadratic function. Okay, so that brings you to remember a little bit about vertex form from a graph and from the equation. What you're going to take a look at in the next lesson, though, is what happens if it's not given to you in vertex form. Can you still figure out where the vertex is? So have a watch with the next lesson, and good luck.